and welcome back to By the Board Opinions. So today I'm going to talk about why buy mystery boxes. Why do it? I think mystery boxes and subscription boxes are quite an interesting culture. There is a lot to be said for kind of buying yourself a nice gift, but equally for wasting money on things that you didn't even know existed sometimes. And so what really is the value in buying a mystery box or not in the context of board games? So one real benefit of mystery boxes is if you have a small library and you just don't know what else is out there or where to start, it's actually quite a good idea to have someone else choose for you. Now, of course, you could ask friends and other people for recommendations, but perhaps those friends already have those games and you're just literally looking for something new and you don't have the benefit of going to conventions to try games out. So if you were to buy a mystery box, you know that you're likely to get something different, unless you own the Mind, and then you're definitely going to get the Mind, in my experience. But what's really nice about getting these new things is perhaps you're going to try something you didn't think you'd try before, or perhaps you'll even find out the things that you definitely don't like. Equally, you could end up with some sort of accessory or promo that ends up being quite useful. My Xatu dice tray I kind of use all the time. I have an all rolled up dice tray, but actually I think I prefer the Xatu dice tray, and it goes really nicely with some of my blue dice, which has a really good contrast, so I use that for D&D now. But equally, when you have a mystery box, you just don't know what you're going to get. And so whilst I've said that that's a pro, you could learn something new, you can expand your library, but if you do have a fairly substantive library and you have played a fair amount of games, there is a chance you're just going to get more of the same. And at that point, you're probably wasting your money, even if they have sold it to you at less than retail price. So there's a balance there. Not knowing what you're getting can be fantastic for new people trying to find out new things, but also really detrimental for people with substantive libraries already. The one thing about mystery boxes in terms of not knowing what you're getting, it's almost like someone giving you a little present, albeit you've paid for it, but someone's curated that for you. One option that's kind of sits in the balance there is that some places do offer mystery boxes which are curated to you. So perhaps you can send them some information about yourself. My friends at the Dice Cup in Nottingham, they do offer mystery boxes where you can let them know what you already have or what you enjoy, or even kind of the themes that you enjoy before they send out a box to you. So there are options where if you are looking for a little present for yourself, but at the same time you don't want to be, completely left to the whims of whichever company you're buying from, there are alternative options out there. Money. So again, this is both a pro and a con. So sometimes you will actually find that mystery boxes are quite good value for money. I know that on subscription boxes before, I have actually made a profit out of reselling some of the games. That's not a model that I'm suggesting that you do. It's certainly not a consistent thing to do, but occasionally it has turned out that way. So you will find sometimes it is cheaper, especially if you've never owned those games and you end up enjoying all those games, to have bought them via a mystery box rather than individually. Conversely though, you may already have the games and the retail prices aren't really an indicator of the actual sale prices, and by the time that you've put these up for sale in your local board game group or on eBay or something equivalent, then you've actually lost money for no real gains. So what's my view on mystery boxes? Obviously, I have bought a couple of them. I do quite like the feeling of kind of having a surprise for yourself come through the post, and I think that is, the model for a lot of subscription type boxes and mystery boxes, is that you feel like you're treating yourself, maybe tricking yourself into that. And so it is nice to get post. Equally, my library isn't big. I have played a fair amount of games, but it's nowhere near on the spectrum of many people that I know. And because I do turn around my games, my library is quite small. So I'm willing to include things, and I do have space for that. So for me, I may find myself buying more mystery boxes in the future for the novelty, but also for the experience of perhaps trying things that I wouldn't normally go for. If I go to a convention, I normally look for things that I think are going to interest me to play, because you have a very limited amount of time. But with a mystery box, you're kind of forced to have a go at something that perhaps you wouldn't have thought of before. So I think they're quite charming in that way. But I certainly wouldn't do it on a regular basis. It really is a one-off thing for me, and if you are prone to being slightly addicted to these sorts of things, I wouldn't recommend necessarily dipping your toes in. It is in a sense gambling, so be very careful if you are prone to getting addicted to these sorts of things, because you can find yourself ramping up and spending more money on things that you really, really don't need. So I would say give a mystery box a go if you're feeling like you want to try something new and you don't have a big library. But if I think you're if you're a very well established gamer, you know what you like, then I don't think mystery boxes are for you, unless you really want to give it a go, but you want to try, say for example, one of the curated boxes where you can inform people in advance of what you do and don't like. That's probably a better option. So that's a brief overview of why buy a mystery box or not. Give it a go if you're feeling excited, but also don't put yourself in a financially dodgy situation. And if you're not feeling like this is for you, then don't do it. If you do buy a mystery box, feel free to comment with it. I would be really interested to see what you get and where you get it from. I will put a link to the Dice Cup curated boxes in my description, and enjoy. If you do buy one, I hope you get a great mix of things. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you another time. Bye.